But the match is ready and we'll get underway. But of course we need the players to come out on stage. Let's call them out. It is going to be none other than VENGEUR and AV3K. Two players who are expecting to make potentially a podium finish at the very least, and again I've been very impressed by how AV3K's been playing the last couple of weeks, and we're going to see if that trend is going to continue on forth.
Alright, and if you guys haven't noticed, when the players are playing on stream, they're also wearing a wristband, and you can see their heartbeat on stream right next to their name on the top.
You can. I need actually my glasses to see that.
Yeah, for us it's quite hard to see, but
yeah.
All the people at home can see it quite well.
I'll definitely need you to definitely pay attention to that. It just shows not just with nerves, but how pressured they feel in a lot of those crucial situations. I want to see like a sudden death on a map number 3 and see how high their
I gotta go watch Yup versus Ruff again and notice how nervous Yup was.
True, yeah, because he was definitely pretty nervous. Again, well, you would be. I think we've all been there once you've been on main stage for the first time.
You're on main stage, on playoffs, versus Rafa, and he's doing his best to make you more nervous because he knows you're nervous.
I kind of feel like when you're first time on main stage, either two outcomes come out of it. Either you thrive off the adrenaline rush, or it's a complete opposite end where you get a bit nervous and don't play your style. That seems to be his route, and it was great what you said about Yup as well. He was just eager to play him again, but of course, well, we'd probably have to get to the grand final at this point to try and play him again.
That's what I told him, just win every game until the grand final.
You make it sound so easy, don't you, mate?
It's pretty simple, the logic, but because Rafa's not really going to lose until he gets to the grand finals, most likely.
Yeah, that's pretty true. It depends who he matches against in the winners' semis. Rafa's had quite an easy road so far against these opponents the last couple of matches here today. We'll find out who will be up against next. Of course, VENGEUR and AV3K coming up next. We will have the picks and bans shortly live. And we'll see who's going to go with what. We've already made a couple of small predictions already of what's going to be happening with the picks, but I do feel like a Crucible and Exile will slip in most one of the 3 maps.
I'm curious about what map VENGEUR will actually ban, because Corrupted is one of AV3K's best maps, but VENGEUR is really happy to play Corrupted as well. So maybe VENGEUR will actually ban Exile or Crucible. We know AV3K will maybe be trying to play Crucible, because I don't think VENGEUR has much experience on it. He will be almost certainly banning Deep Embrace. So yeah, what do you think? Is VENGEUR gonna ban Crucible, or is VENGEUR gonna ban something else?
I've not looked at his picks at all, but for AV3K, he will go for Crucible, I think. He did it before against Sirius. He looked quite comfortable considering the aim skill which Sirius delivered, and still was able to topple him, which is quite scary in itself. And VENGEUR's probably taken note of that as well. He's realised that he has selected Crucible in the past. Will he do it again? But he has to pretty much pick his poison. If he selects Crucible as a ban, will AV3K go with Exile, or will he go for just an entirely different map choice?
We'll have to see. Right now, the only thing we're certain is that Deep Embrace is going to be banned.
Yeah, I think
that is the one thing we're certain.
Even chat's probably saying it right now, even though we can't say it.
Even chat.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, trust me, chat a lot more knowledgeable than we are. As we're still waiting for the picks and bans to get underway, they're just finishing setting up right now.
Both players look super serious. They're both really good friends, but right now they're both looking super serious. They're focusing. They're getting their game face on.
Well, they have to. You know, we've got a lot of money on the line. If you guys aren't familiar with the prize pool, which I'm going to go over later anyway, it looks like already the bans are coming out. Deep Embrace. Well, what a surprise. And VENGEUR, again, what a surprise. Banning Crucible straight away.
Corrupted Keep, okay. AV3K fears no one on this map, and VENGEUR's more than happy to play it as well. VENGEUR, I wonder what he will pick though. Maybe the Blood Covenant, maybe Awoken. And the Blood Covenant it is.
Not too much of a surprise there. So Corrupted Keep will be first, the Blood Covenant will be next. Let's see what the ban's going to be coming out from AV3K here, as it will be the Awoken ban and the Exile ban straight afterwards. So leave us out with Ruins, exactly.
Corrupted, Blood Covenant, Ruins, alright. Not too bad.
No, not too bad at all. I think for VENGEUR, he does prefer Ruins a little bit more. He's had his ups and downs with Ruins. Sometimes I've seen him play really well in Ruins, sometimes we haven't. I think it really does depend on who he's actually playing against. We've got the ban already straight away with the Anarchy ban on
What do you think the matchup is going to be on Corrupted Keep? It's probably something never seen before, for sure.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be Clutch versus Sorlag.
I would pay to see Clutch versus Sorlag on Corrupted.
Bring us the Ranger and the Strog, come on. Let's no mucking around. Even a BJ to slip in.
Oh, whoa.
Oh,
the
visor.
visor. I've seen Avec go with the visor here and there because he uses it in a way that is like, you can use, there's only two ways you can use visor on Corrupted, right? It's either to spawn frag your opponent after you get a kill, or to play from below the mega, right? Because you can see where he is and you can do a lot of spam damage, so you can take the mega more freely, or you can be the one on top of the mega doing damage to him. That's how Avec likes to play it, very fight-based. And then on the second map, it's likely going to be the Athena for Avec and the Slash for VENGEUR.
Yeah, banning that Aizen to keep those mobile champions open.
Surely a Nyx ban now. Surely a Nyx ban from Avec.
Yeah, the Anarchy's not available anymore because the Slash and the Athena's not available anymore.
It's got to be the Nyx.
It has to be, yeah. I'd be surprised if it's not. We'll see. It depends on the ban first from Avec. He actually bans the Sorlag.
Sorlag. So he wants VENGEUR to play the Nyx. VENGEUR just goes for the Nyx.
He did not even.
Yeah, that's
took it as a second thought.
That's good. That's good. He's not overthinking. And Avec goes with the Strog. Oh, right, the Strog was also in. How often do you see the Strog being left for last? And Avec, he does favor the mobility. So this is Avec saying, if I get a couple of kills, I can run away with it.
The only thing VENGEUR will have in his back pocket is that aggressive Ghost Walk. But as if it goes to map number 3, we'll have to see, because Corrupted Keep will be the map we're going to start things off and see how things will go from there. It's obviously going to be quite close to call. Now that we've got the maps and the picks and the how the situation is going to potentially arise, how do you feel that's going to go in terms of predictions? Do you feel like, I think Rafa said earlier, he feels like depending on the picks and bans, he feels like it's going to be 2-1 to VENGEUR.
Yeah, with these picks and bans, I do favor VENGEUR choices a little bit more, especially on the first map. Avec can make that visor work, but I feel like the Ranger is just very, very powerful on Corrupted Keep. When it comes to Blood Covenant, it's a 50-50, but I think VENGEUR, it depends who is hitting the rails when it comes to that map. And then on Ruins, I like both of the champions, honestly. I really like VENGEUR's Nyx, and I really like Avec Sorlag ban, surely.
Just preparing themselves now, going into Corrupted Keep. It will be the Ranger versus the Visor. Very, very rare we see Visor, but he's definitely not a bad option.
Even that the two of the maps are 50-50, according to us, and one of the map is favored for VENGEUR. I would say a 2-1 for VENGEUR.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would have probably said 2-1 anyway, even before the picks and bans, but Avec could definitely throw a spanner in the works and just turn it on its head straight away. If he brings his A game, which he has done actually so far throughout the weekend and last week.
So has VENGEUR.
I'll see how things are going to go. Well, this is the worrying factor, isn't it? But that's why it could go either way. Like one minuscule of one very minor error could cost these two their game.
Yeah, and at this point of the tournament, the only players we're going to see here are the players who have been performing really, really well.
And here we have it, Corrupted Keep between VENGEUR and Avec. This is for a spot in the winners bracket semi-finals to guarantee himself the top 6 placement as well. Kicking things off.
Oh, I like this perspective. Start. Very, very cool start from VENGEUR. And Avec is left without any major item. Oh, VENGEUR and Avec actually finding themselves very close, and Avec already trying to hold the position for the LG despite having much less stack. He knows this is a very favorable position for him. And VENGEUR just managed to actually go down, but Avec using that corner to its full extent. I think Avec running out of LG ammo there meant he was gonna die, and Avec coming back. Okay, that's gonna be enough for him to at least get the heavy. That delayed VENGEUR enough and gave him the heavy. But the first kill went in the way of the Italian.
He was hoping to get a potential trade there, but realised he was outstaying his welcome with the Mega coming up, which is understandable. And with the Rockets, he could have just kept spamming that to stop him from going through and try to go for the Mega himself. Respectful decision there by Avec, and it was perfectly understandable why he decided to go ahead of it. So we're just a minute in at the moment. VENGEUR just waiting for Avec to make the first move around that tri-bolt jump pad. He's actually faked it and jumped all the way back down, and VENGEUR's realised that he's still hanging around that jump pad so far, and he's not going to move unless Avec makes the first choice. And now he's actually used that piercing sight, and VENGEUR's heard it. So
I hope they stay here until 9:59. Oh, VENGEUR now has to move. Oh no!
Wow!
A combo. That is the perfect combination of Rocket and Orb by VENGEUR, getting the second kill. And now he trapped Avec there. How can Avec get away without taking much damage? Avec actually almost winning the LG fight from the very unfavorable position. The good thing is that there's a long time for any major item, and Avec might just rush back in. Let's see if he does it. Heavy in 10 seconds. VENGEUR is right above him. He knows that AVEK doesn't really have the weaponry to fight him. He's trying to rain down rockets. Not really landing much damage, but he can back off to any item he chooses. AVEK is going to be the one taking the heavy, and VENGEUR decides to stay on the weapons side of the map. Very good choice.
You saw VENGEUR trying to keep out of the way with that shoddy from AVEK, as you rightly said. Didn't have any of the weapons in his arsenal, so he had absolutely no reason to push on in and to give him any kind of advantageous point there. Then AVEK just biding his time at the moment. He realised it's 3-0. He doesn't want to let things to escalate further. So AVEK does have a tiny stack lead, as he's just pinning him here, just trying to close it. Oh, what a direct as well. And you've got to remember, he's going to try and go for the heavy, but that's, sorry, go for the mega, but that's fine. He goes straight for the heavy with the orb.
He was going to try to do the
same
double item pickup. Thankfully, it didn't work this time. Thankfully for AVEK. AVEK doing a lot of MG damage. VENGEUR not really doing any damage at all there, so a bit of shift in momentum. AVEK now in control of the pace. VENGEUR trying to fight for the control of the pace with his double back, but not really working out, and now he's left with pretty much nothing. And if AVEK plays this correctly, he might get both of the items, potentially even a frag. Let's see. AVEK decides to go for the mega and gives VENGEUR the heavy. That was a very free pickup there for VENGEUR.
Yeah, a little bit surprising, but of course VENGEUR's not going to complain about that at all in the slightest, as we're so past the 3-minute mark and things haven't changed too much here. Just a couple of item swaps here and there. VENGEUR probably still surprised that he's actually getting the opportunity to pick up that heavy, and now just waiting to pick up that next heavy once again. He's looking to go for the T-bit, but caught a little bit from those rockets. But it's not going to stop him from being aggressive. Yeah, just adding a little bit more to the damage department.
VENGEUR is very fine in his position. He likes to play defensive, but AVEK is doing so much damage with the machine gun. But it's really hard to close in the distance for AVEK, because VENGEUR is the one with the orb. And until VENGEUR uses the orb, or AVEK manages to do 100 damage, completely uncontested, he's not really going to push him. Well, he did just do 100 damage now. That's why we see him push. Let's see if he can do any more. He keeps switching to the machine gun just to do that little bit of damage here and there. Great rocket by VENGEUR. And the rocket jump is going to be great, because now AVEK is trapped there once again. There is no way AVEK gets out of here with his life.
Oh, he manages to sneak onto the red room. He had enough stack to...
I expected the orb play from VENGEUR there to secure the kill, but I don't think he realized how low AVEK was after the exchange.
That rocket was so close, but VENGEUR's heavy machine gun's got a little bit better compared to earlier. He's expecting to still be along that red room. He's actually still on a heavy.
AVEK hits so much with the heavy machine gun. Like VENGEUR forced to use the orb just to pick up the 2 health bubbles.
5-minute warning.
Yeah, just playing it very safe. He's just rather, I think he's going to just bide his time for now, just waste enough time. But the thing is, the heavy machine gun coming out from AVEK again. He's looking to
That's a good time for AVEK
still
to
get
push.
that first frag.
No warp for VENGEUR. AVEK, he's looking to get a frag in the next 5 seconds.
Certainly is. Look at the stack advantage AVEK has now. This will be his time to shine here to try and close this gap. Still hasn't got a frag to his name after the last 5.5 minutes, but VENGEUR has been playing out of his mind.
Especially defensively. Every time AVEK wants to do something, VENGEUR just backs off a little bit and puts himself in a good position. There is AVEK. Oh, and the rocket with the orb once again. And VENGEUR, this is why it's so hard to push a ranger. When you know he doesn't have the orb, that's when you just have to go in. Else, this is what's going to happen. A little bit over-eager by AVEK, but great defensive play by VENGEUR once again.
Heavy machine gun coming out again from AVEK. VENGEUR just waiting for him to make that initial push. VENGEUR's up in 12, Heavy's in 15. Not really too much in terms of the timing sync there with the items. Just waiting for him to try and push. And AVEK realises this as well, so he's trying to bait him out. But VENGEUR's not really falling for any of the plays that AVEK's trying to force him to make.
Yeah, he's barely taking any damage, VENGEUR. Only sometimes with the machine gun. Oh, AVEK managed to find him. The first rocket by VENGEUR. Oh my god, he got it again. I thought he was going to use the orb to get out, but instead he played once again super aggressive and used the orb just to get the combo done. I think should be another kill. Oh, VENGEUR gets it once again.
And he's gone for the piercing side to try and at least get the trade, and he manages to get it. Good use of the piercing side. The other couple use of the piercing side, not so great, but that was so important for him.
Yeah, it's his last chance pretty much. 3 minutes to go, 5 frags to get to tie the game versus one of the best defensive players in Quake. Let's see what he can do.
Realises that he's probably still hanging around that tri-bolt area, but he's now moved from there since. His finger's now switching over to the red room. Avik took a little bit of damage there from that tri-bolt, and VENGEUR's just playing this well. As you said, he's playing good defensively, and he's not going to change that at all. He's been very consistent for the entirety of this first map.
Yeah, and most of the kills that VENGEUR got were rocket warp combos, and he's gonna stick to that plan. It's working well for him. If Avik wants to push him, he will just try to hit a couple of rockets with the ARP, and that's usually enough. And Avik finding it really hard to get VENGEUR to do what he wants. You can see Avik trying to move really fast. It's not because he wants to go somewhere, it's just so we can try to force VENGEUR to move based on his own sound cues. But VENGEUR's not biting. VENGEUR's just playing super defensive, not really moving until Avik actually commits to a decision. Oh, that's the first time we see VENGEUR actually misstep, and he still makes it work. VENGEUR misstep, but the rocket, the position that he was in, allowed him to try and go for another rocket to warp combo, and he makes it work. And once again,
oh wow, that mid-air
at the end, just VENGEUR with an unbreachable defense play.
And Avik doesn't really have much mobility anyway. You've got to remember, VENGEUR's got the passive with the rocket jumping, and also got the orb to get away. Trade comes out, but VENGEUR will take the trades for days now. There's only 1 minute 15 seconds left. This is pretty much done here. Dapping out just your DMT as much as possible before he actually goes to the heavy, trying to get with the rocket, but still trying to hunt him down to try and keep the scores respectable. There's a few rockets still coming out with an nail gun from VENGEUR. Gets the LG left on 1 HP.
1 HP, 1 minute, 6 frags. I think he got this.
Yeah, I reckon he's perfectly fine. Shouldn't be an issue.
So much damage by Avik there, but it's a little bit too late at this point. And honestly, perfect defensive plays by VENGEUR. Just unbreachable defense. Not much Avik could do. Visor didn't help that much because it wasn't the point of Avik trying to find out where Avik was, where VENGEUR was. It was more of a point, how do I push him?
The great thing about VENGEUR's defensive play as well, he was very aware of the situation, was never actually standing around just one area. He was consistently mixing it up and always making sure there was a way he could get away and not really give Avik too much of an opportunity to chase him down. So a lot of little things here and there just to be proactive from a defensive stance.
Indeed, and I'm curious to see the stats of this game, because it felt like as a game, not that just players having a little bit of a laugh there for the last 5 seconds.
Having a giggle. And there we have it. VENGEUR winning that match 10-4. I'm just looking at the damage as well. 39% for VENGEUR for the LG and 40% from Avik. Didn't shoot as much, but look at the item control as well. 18 items for VENGEUR and 16 for Avik, and the lights almost similar, 12-15.
A very balanced game overall. It was a game where not that much happened compared to some games that we've had today, but just was a very controlled tactical game. It was a matter of Avik trying to push VENGEUR, and VENGEUR just being super hard to push due to the visor and rocket combo. VENGEUR knew exactly what Avik's plan was with the visor, and he just played completely against it.
And there wasn't really too much damage between the two either. I believe VENGEUR had 301 damage in comparison, just did better work of it.
This was probably Avik's best chance, but VENGEUR, even there, he just shut him down.
Certainly did. He's going for the replay still.
And this one,
the VENGEUR show at the start.
A couple of fights where they could have gone Avik's way. Again, just a lot of fights that were very 50-50, but VENGEUR coming out on top on all of them.
Continuing, as you can see, sadly for Avik, he is down by 1 game in this series. VENGEUR takes the second one. That will mean that VENGEUR will continue on in the winners semis. I believe the winner of this will play Rafa.
Yes.
For the winners finals. That's
the winner of
crazy.
This plays Rafa.
So we could be seeing that VENGEUR Rafa rematch if the scoreline continues and it would be a 2-0 series, but Avik, I'm sure, will have something to say about it. But Corrupted Keep, I don't feel like Avik played too bad. I think he did really well with the heavy machine gun. He was chipping away at him here and there. And I think there's one moment where Avik must have chipped away at him for a good 20-25 seconds, and just one direct just from VENGEUR just changed everything. And it's just really, really frustrating when you put all that hard work in to try and chip away at your opponent to have one direct just to cancel that out entirely. But we will be going to our next map very shortly, and we'll see if VENGEUR can continue his track record. I think he's barely lost any maps, has he?
VENGEUR?
Yeah, this weekend.
I don't remember seeing him lose a map. I don't think he's lost a map yet.
Actually, I feel like you said that before. So, yeah.
And he didn't lose that map earlier, so he still hasn't.
My goodness.
Just
on an absolute tear. So, Blood Covenant / versus the Athena. Let's see who's going to be coming up trumps. And see if Avik can either equalise the scoreline or for VENGEUR just to close this series.
Pretty typical start. Oh, and VENGEUR goes straight for the rail. And Avik missing the shot that he was given. So Avik kind of missing out on the weapon advantage that he had, and now he decides to slow down the game completely. I think VENGEUR knows where he is. VENGEUR missing the shot as well. And both players hitting an incredibly hard shot. Items coming up soon, but these players seem more interested in having a rail duel. Are just gonna switch items? Nope. VENGEUR is here to try and punish.
And Avik still got both hooks, so as soon as he chops away at VENGEUR's stack, we'll have that chance to try and close out that third frag. It's a shame from VENGEUR as well. He had that first rail in the bag, but managed to hit the second anyway, as he has backed off. So don't be surprised if we have a little bit of a slow start here on Blood Covenant. As now Avik is biding this time, trying to sneak downwards to try and catch VENGEUR off guard, but VENGEUR didn't fall for it. We saw his defensive plays on Corrupted Keep. Let's see if he can be as consistent as he was on Corrupted Keep now on Blood Covenant.
Oh, and VENGEUR finally winning one of the rail duels. Going to be granted the heavy as well. And now VENGEUR's priority should be controlling the rail, because that's Athena's entry into the game. Athena wants to go for that rail, and with all the verticality that Athena has, she can be going for that rail very, very soon. And VENGEUR, completely aware of it, is going to go back. I don't think he heard. So now he's gonna check, and he sees the rail is gone, but he's just gonna chase close range with the LG. Should be getting the kill. Avik does do a lot of damage when VENGEUR's dropping down, but not enough to be dangerous.
VENGEUR didn't seem phased at all as he was falling down. He said, he probably thought to himself, right, I may take a little bit more of a chunk of damage falling downwards, but at least I'll guarantee myself the frag.
Oh wow, the rocket.
What a rocket as
What
well.
a prediction. Oh no, I can't believe he misses the rail. He misses the rail and he gets directed for his troubles. That would have been an amazing frag for Avik, and oh no, this is going terrible for Avik. He could have gotten the frag 5 seconds ago. Oh, that's painful.
Oh, that really was. Make it picked up by VENGEUR. Avik is actually still waiting for that heavy. Does pick it up. At least he burns it, but not before getting cleaned up, making that the full frag very early on here on Blood Covenant.
Yeah, VENGEUR just playing very solid, very well, not really making any mistakes, or making very, very minor mistakes that he immediately corrects. And it seems like he wants to keep playing at this frenetic pace, which kind of favors him in this matchup.
Yeah, it's understandable. He wants to keep up with this intensity to not really give Avik too little room to try and settle down and stabilise.
The only thing that Avik had going for him in this match was that one rocket that he hit at the blood pool, which almost granted him a frag, but he was unable to capitalize on that. And since then, it's been all VENGEUR all the time.
Almost caught Avik there, but the heavy has been picked up. There's only about exactly 3 seconds between the two items. VENGEUR's aim is so good, even with these drive-bys and just trying to catch Avik.
No.
The rocket, the 77. Yep, he's going to go straight in for that. He's very eager, very keen. Another rail as well. Doesn't need to go for him just yet, but he could actually contest the heavy instead and also get that kill, which it looks like he's doing exactly that. This is going to be a great play if he cleans him up. He could get the heavy machine gun. Yes, he does.
He decides not to push it. He knows that he's not in a position where he needs to take a risk to get the frag. He can just chill out, and him just surviving is going to delay any chance of AV coming back into the game for a little while at least. It does, however, mean that the momentum shifts a bit in AV's favor.
These rails he's been hitting. Pretty unreal, and even from that vertical angle still manages to pop it. And VENGEUR's still very, very weak, and AV catches him as he's dropping down for the lights as well. Great stuff there from AV.
Yeah, he double backed. He made the sound that he was going upwards, and then he dropped back, and VENGEUR was waiting at the angle, but he got fooled by AV.
Yeah, that's with the trail. There's no way you can continue that aggression. Just waiting for it by the time LG barrel comes out between the two. AV with a tiny stack advantage, not after picking up that light though, and the heavy coming up. Items about 8 or 9 seconds apart, but means AV does have time to try and contest this, or at least be a bit of a nuisance towards the Mega. As VENGEUR will be able to eventually expand up, but actually comes straight behind him as he's sliding around. Good rockets coming out from AV and finishing them up with a sholly. Still got 4.5 minutes left to play. Still plenty of time to tie this up.
Yeah, that fight is just pure AV. You know, that fight took 2 seconds and AV used 3 different weapons in that fight. Just beautifully done. Let's see if he can do anything else. Mag is about to spawn. He knows VENGEUR is going for it. He's missing the shot. VENGEUR's just going to get out of there. Let's see if AV... And he's going to allow VENGEUR to also get the rail. It's going to come down to who's hitting the rails once again. And AV's rail. Okay, he does land it. But is he going to go for the heavy? I like what he's doing here. The rocket sadly for him doesn't land.
Had he, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for using that hook just to guarantee himself that heavy, because if he lost that frag, he would have been in a world of trouble. The rocket to rail, beautiful stuff there coming out from AV. And now, to try and grasp at this third frag and using that hook just to kind of make the movement coming out from VENGEUR. Still very weak, has picked up the light, so he'll be able to stay alive a little bit longer, but if he gets railed, he's still able to get away. And Heavy's been up for quite a while. He's actually going to be able to pick it up here. Mega is just spawned, and he could get that as well, depending on how the jump pad situation goes. Will he be able to get that? Oh, he actually tags him with it and actually picks up the Mega before him. My goodness, great stuff from AV.
Yeah, I think that was a bit too eager by VENGEUR. Being granted the heavy for free should already have been enough. There was no need for him to take that risk, but AV just takes full advantage of it. There's heavy coming up. AV here to collect. VENGEUR nowhere in sight. VENGEUR was going to be trying to play really slow, trying to hope that he can get the rail whenever AV decides to go for the Mega. But sadly for him, it's not going to be this time yet.
Yeah, look at the stack advantage AV has right now. VENGEUR needs to try and figure out a way to either chip away or just keep his distance, but he's not going to be able to keep his distance all the time. Especially in these kind of situations, he's trying to hook himself towards him. The LG Bella comes out, and VENGEUR's actually doing very well considering the stack advantage AV had. And AV's backing off straight away. He knows the heavy is still up, just delaying the timing. He's actually been quite proactive, pick up the light first.
Yeah, he's delaying himself a little bit too much. If he went for the heavy, now he'd probably allow VENGEUR to get one of the other major items, but now it's so much time has passed that whichever items you get, VENGEUR is likely to get the other one. Let's see if he can get the heavy on time. That's a good hook. And he misses a shot on top of it. Oh, AV's not going to be happy about that. And he doesn't even pick up the rail.
Yeah,
you can see
so crucial into Slash, just to even be able to chip away at VENGEUR before taking him down. And as the clock is ticking, this next frag may have to be as clean as possible.
Exactly, as AV is running out of time, slowly but surely, 90 seconds to go. Can he land the shot? He does not just yet. And every shot he misses is VENGEUR's win getting closer and closer. Oh, he also ran out of rocket ammunition. He's running out of ammo on every weapon.
VENGEUR's just biding his time for now, using those defensive rockets just to keep his distance and also try and even the stack. He does try and approach him, even though he does have the bigger stack. That rail is not going to help AV3K at all in the slightest. VENGEUR would almost caught him from that angle around the hourglasses, but he's back to Wayne again. Still has those 2 hooks. Oh, he's always able to catch him. That was again another good rocket. Not the best in terms of damage, but just to help him wait a little bit more time. The mid-air was perfect there from AV3K. Hits the rail, but VENGEUR comes out with the rockets, and that's going to seal the series. And that is going to be the game-winning frag, which means VENGEUR will be taking this series 2-0. But was it easy?
No, that was a really good final fight. AV3K, the starting rocket was great, the rail as well. He just kind of expected VENGEUR to go up the jump pad. That's why he held the rail out, but really good dodge by VENGEUR not to go up the jump pad, knowing what AV3K was expecting. And getting the kill there. AV3K getting the last kill, keeping the game close, as it was a very, very close game.
It really was, yeah, compared to what we saw previously and the amount of incredible shots we saw from both players and the mind games they had to try and go for these items. It was absolute madness. VENGEUR, 51%.
Yeah, the accuracy is still a story. AV3K was on 30% rail. VENGEUR had like virtually no items on that map compared to AV3K, but he was hitting the shots.
Yeah, he was. I still think AV3K played really well considering the position he had to put himself in to try and claw his way back every single time. Keep was, even with Keep, he was playing the game how it should have been played, like using the heavy machine gun quite a lot to chip away the damage, but of course there's a little bit of a struggle with some of the items on the odd occasion which kind of cost him quite effectively. And even here, like even on Blood Covenant, he had a start which is, well, not exactly a dream start, so to speak. It's more on VENGEUR's side, but a lot of mind games again with the audio cue, just trying to force him to other items and trying to put him into a position which will work for him more than anything else. But the fact that VENGEUR played it so aggressively at the beginning to give him that high scoring lead, and then in order to then just back away and just use the mobility of Slash just to keep his distance, or just use those defensive rockets to keep the stacks even at all times, just able to why VENGEUR was able to secure that victory.
Some really high-level fights that we've seen in this map. I think this is, oh yeah, this was the last one that we saw. So we don't see the amazing air rocket that AV3K hit there, but still very, very high-level Quake.
I think we'll be expecting a lot more from AV3K. I think he can still go pretty far. He's now going to be in the top 12, but he's got so many more matches to come. He'll be playing a few more matches in that lower bracket, and then we'll be finding out later on who's in the top 8 or top 6 going into day 3. But it looks like we do have an interview ready with VENGEUR. We've got Lyco Vinusfair on standby to see what he thinks of what happened with VENGEUR and that series. Now he's in the winners semi-finals.
Yeah, and yet again we have a man here winning 2-0 in the upper bracket. Now you are going to face the other only player in this tournament who has not lost a map so far. So this will change, of course. One of you has to lose a map going up. What are your thoughts about the next match against Rafa?
Hopefully I play better than last week. So yeah, I will try and see what can I do to beat him.
So, I mean, you have some time, right? This match is going to be tomorrow most likely, and it's going to be a best of 5. But what would you like change in terms of your picks and bans or your approach compared to the last time when you met him at LAN?
Well, for sure I will have to play Exile, so I'm gonna practice it a bit now off stage, because I like Crucible, but I didn't put enough time, so I'm not gonna probably play it. And yeah, we will see how, like, I will try to make some champion changes, maybe play something different compared to last week, but you know, it's Rafa, so you have to play your best anyway. It doesn't matter what champions you play.
Yeah, great. I mean, he's the greatest of all time after all, right? So, once again, thank you for spending your time with me. Congratulations on the win, and I'll send it back to the desk.